Hi again. This video is going to be a tour of my backyard, which is honestly my favorite part of my garden. So here we go. So here we are in the side part of my backyard, right on the other side of that gate. If you watched my video for my front yard, whoops, see, there it is. Right on the other side is that little kind of triangular perennial vegetable bed, and that the twin berry can be seen poking over the top there. So here is the back part of my yard. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of walk through and talk about plants and things that I like and things that I don't like. Speaking of that, here's a giant laurel hedge. Ugh. This thing came with the house and I prune it back every year because it just gets so big. I don't particularly like it. I mean, I guess the bees like it when it blooms, but I could use that space better, but that's a project for another day. It's really big and it would probably need a chainsaw, which I don't have. Anyway, here is another red flowering currant. This one is very big. This one is quite tall and big. And this is the one I mainly propagate from, but the lighting isn't very good. It's blooming right now. It's a very beautiful plant. I love it. Here's another elderberry. I have 4 elderberries. This one is, it's a black elderberry and it's neat. It's like, it's what is it? Sambucus laciniata. So the leaves are, you can see they're very like deeply cut. And it looks kind of like, if you're familiar with the black lace elder, which is kind of more an ornamental elderberry, the leaves are a very similar shape, but they're green. And it actually, and the flowers are white, unlike that pink, and it berries very well. So this one is definitely like 4 berries. And I have cut this back some, but it hasn't really needed the hard cutting back that my blue elderberry has needed. So this one's great. I expect it makes very big, like saucer sized flower discs. It's great. Oh, there's the sun. Oh, it's nice. So yeah, there's the currant. And down here below, we have some lovage, which is looking nice, like a little tiny pink celery forest. Lovage is a perennial vegetable that has a very strong celery taste. It's like so strong, you only need a little bit, and I probably wouldn't eat it raw, like with, you know, peanut butter and raisins or whatever, but a little bit in soup as like an herb is kind of how it's used. But it is very prolific. It gets super tall. It makes wonderful tall flowers that soldier beetles really like, and other pollinators. And the flower, I think these are some old stems from leftover from last year, that makes these hollow stems. So these are valuable to have, you know, to leave standing as long as you can tolerate it. They're really valuable for overwintering insects, anything that has a hollow stem. So things in the carrot parsley family, like lovage or angelica, things like that, are really valuable to leave the stems up as long as you can. But yeah, perennial vegetables are great. They get going sooner. They just live longer. They're lower maintenance. Good way to get nutritious variety into your diet as well. Okay. What else do we have here? Here's another perennial vegetable. I have some bigger ones around the corner, but this is a cardoon. And cardoon, as you can probably tell, is a relative of artichoke. The difference with cardoon is that you don't eat the flower buds like you do with artichoke. You eat the leaf stalk. And honestly, probably by now it's even a little late. You're supposed to like blanch it, where you put a big pot or a, you know, wrap it up in some dark paper or cardboard to keep the light out, and that makes the stem or the leaves really pale and like more tender to eat. So I've done it once. It was totally tasted fine. I didn't even blanch it. I just like peeled it and chopped up the stems and cooked it for a while. And they were good. You know, salt, pepper, and butter is good. Over here is one of my nettle patches. This one's not doing as well. It's doing okay now because it's early in the season and this is kind of like nettles time here. But it gets this is like a west facing wall, so it gets a little too hot and sunny for them. They get kind of brutalized when it gets hot, but I love nettles. They're probably one of my favorite plants of all time. Even the sting, it's fine. Nettles are awesome because they are a perennial vegetable. They're like a choice spring green edible. Just saute it, steam them, any way to kind of denature the stinging hairs. The leaves and the stem, you can see, maybe you can see, they have all these little tiny pokey stinger hairs on them. I think it's formic acid is the irritant there, but it doesn't feel great, but you know, it's not that bad. It's worth it. The greens are delicious when they're cooked. Even if you just like squish the leaf, there's a way you can like roll it up and kind of squish it till the juices are kind of coming out to make the sting go away. But you know, raw is probably not the best way to eat them. But so yeah, you can eat them when they're small, and then when they get later, they get tall and they start to flower. You don't want to eat them after that because there's too many what is it? There's too much something in it. I'll try to put it in the caption later. I forgot. Something about them you don't want to eat when they're flowering. However, you can continue to dry the leaves for tea. So you can harvest this thing kind of all year. And if you cut it back, it will like continue to grow. It will just keep branching out and making more stems. So yeah, awesome plant. It likes shade and moist areas, and it will form, you can see it's kind of spread throughout here. I have other things too, but it'll form like colonies, big colonies of nettle. Oh, the sun's out. You can see my trees. Don't really have any leaves on them yet. We're getting there. Here's my Fuki patch. I like this plant, I guess. So this plant really also likes wet shade. And where did I put it? Well, there used to be a wall, like right here where this greenhouse is. It used to be walled in. So it would get like sun reflecting on it in the summer. And I kind of did that on purpose to contain it, because this will spread. It has spread. And it does sometimes come up like in the grass down here, and I just dig it out, but it'll make big colonies. And like if it had a shady swamp, oh man, I'd be so happy. But it's technically a perennial vegetable, and the part you eat are the young stems. So probably now, the next few weeks would be the time to eat it. It grows pretty fast in the beginning of the season. I've never eaten it. I haven't read the reviews or the accounts I've read of people eating it. It's not been glowing. It doesn't really inspire me to want to eat it. Eric Tonesmeyer's like, eh. So I'm like, well, whatever. The thing I do love about it is, so these leaves are already like pretty big. And this is not, they'll get like super, just like so big. Like, you know, Totoro style leaves. So what I do is I cut them down and my kids play with them like a parasol. And you know what, that's enough for me. And also one great thing, they're a little bit past now, but these are the flowers. It flowers very early. And the first bug I see out are flies. The flies love the flowers. They come and sun themselves on it and get whatever pollen is in there. So it's valuable as an early pollinator plant. Gives some food to the little guys. This is a Italian plum, Stanley prune plum. It's had some problems with black knot, and it had like blossom wilt last year. It still made plums, but I don't know. I feel like it's just a matter of time before that's probably gonna have to come out, unfortunately. So all these trees back here, I have a plum. That's a pear, another pear over there. 2 apples sort of run behind the other here. That's a cherry, and that's a peach. All of these ones I planted, they were like the first things I planted in 2016. And I kind of have them each on their own like little circle of wood chips. And I didn't do very much soil prep, like not as much as I should have. Just sort of plopped the chips down on the ground and hope for the best. And surprise, surprise, the grass just grew through it. So over time, I've layered chips and compost and mulch and more chips and more compost and et cetera, just sort of layering stuff on top of the grass. And eventually the grass kind of gives up. You do have to dig it out, or at least I have to dig it out still. But and then I kind of merged the circles, so like these were separate and now they're like one thing, and the apples are one thing. And over here I just sort of like merged it all along the edge of the fence there. So yeah, two pears rather, for pollination. This is an orchis pear, and over there is a comics pear. It looks weird because I just cut a big piece out of it. So the orchis pear is great. It was, I think it was what it was like a wild variety found on Orcas Island. I think that's, I'm not sure when, but anyway, it's well suited to our climate. It does get that rust, that nasty rust fungus that's carried by junipers. And like everybody and their mother has a juniper in their yard around here because I live in like suburban land, but so it gets rust. Even when I spray it, it still gets rust. So, oh well. It still makes lots of nice pears that are really tasty. The comics pear has not made a single pear in its entire life. And I don't know why. It looks so weird right now. I cut out this big middle like leader part. I have a friend who knows about pruning and he recommended I cut it out, and it just looks kind of bad, but it's on thin ice anyway because it's never made a pear. So I'm not sure why. It makes lots of flowers, no pears. In between I have, this is a silverberry. I'm trying to get my shadow. I'm not very good at taking videos if you didn't notice, but get my shadow out of the way. This is a silverberry. It's another Elaeagnus family shrub, so related to gumi and autumn olive, and seaberry. It's really pretty. It's got these pretty like variegated leaves. It's evergreen all year. It makes flowers that smell amazing, but I've never seen a berry on them, and that's okay. It's good for mulch, like you cut down the branches and chip them up, you know, nitrogen rich sort of mulch. You know, it's a shrub, it's fine. Better than something else. And then next to it, it looks a little shabby because we had this sort of big thunderstorm, windstorm lately, and some of the top material kind of fell out and need to put back. But this is a bug snug. It's like a skinny teepee with lots of stems and little branches kind of sandwiched in there. And it's supposed to be a bug overwintering habitat. I saw one of these at the Beacon Food Forest in Seattle last year, and then I saw another one at the Flower and Garden Show, also in Seattle, and I thought they looked so cool, like a pagan altar or something. But mine needs a little help, but I was pretty happy with it. I had a lot of extra like cuttings, you know, dead stuff that cut down, and it's a good use for all your twiggy stuff you don't know what you're gonna do with. In the corner here I have a couple autumn olives. There's a small one here, and a bigger one there that's kind of being held up so it doesn't lean too much. Autumn olives are very yummy. They taste so good. I think I like them even maybe better than gumi. There's actually, I forgot to show in the front, I have it's very small, an autumn olive that makes yellow berries, and those were so delicious. I ate some at the Inspiration Farm in Laurel, Washington, and they were very good. Yeah, just lots of herbaceous things. In the back, it's kind of dominated by valerian. I actually love valerian. It's great. It's so easy, like too easy, really. It spreads very readily by seed, and it makes lots of little puffy, you know, dandelion fluff type seeds that blow away. But it's known for being medicinal, like the root is the medicinal part, and it's kind of smelly, like dirty socks or something. But I make a tincture out of it to help, like, you know, for sleep. It's a very powerful sedative. For a small percentage of people, it actually does the opposite. I think 10% of people, it jacks them up. So if that's you, then don't use valerian, I guess, unless that's what you want. But one thing I love about it, in the summer, it makes very tall flowers. Like this one, this is one of my more mature plants. It got so tall, just like way up here, taller than me, like 6 feet tall or more. And I have a ton of them, as you can see it. Like, there's one, there's one. Oh, there's one. There's one over there. Another one back there. More over there. They're everywhere. So I often dig them out to sell at plant sales because I just have so many valerian. But it's a great pollinator plant too. And the flowers, unlike the root, smell amazing. Like, so good. Here are my apple trees. I forget. What is a freedom? I think that's freedom apple, and this is L-star, or it might be the other way around. I can't remember which is which anymore. They both make apples. This one makes more. Last year they didn't make any. They just took a year off. It's called like a mast year, when sometimes fruit and nut trees, like, they alternate years when they make fruit or nuts. So I'm hoping this year will be bountiful harvest. Here is, I mentioned earlier, that black lace elder. That's a more ornamental one. That's what this is. I saw one years ago and thought it was pretty, and so I got one. I probably, you know, knowing what I know now, I probably wouldn't put it in. But it's pretty enough. But I'm trying to focus on things that make food or medicine. Growing up this fence, it's actually kind of like breaking the fence, which is not good. See right there? This is a kiwi berry, hardy kiwi. So this is my big one. I had to, you have to have a male and a female to make fruit. I had to, and one of them died, and I didn't know which one it was. So I had to go and buy 2 more. So here they are. There's one, and there's the other, and those are doing good. Because, yeah, I didn't know it was the male or the female that died, but anyway, hopefully one of these days I'll actually get some fruit, because kiwi berries are great. They taste like a kiwi. They're not hairy, but they are green inside, and they're small, kind of like an olive-sized fruit. And yeah, they're hardy kiwi, so they grow here, but also fuzzy kiwis grow here. I don't think many people know that. I've seen people with big fuzzy kiwi trellises in Bellingham, so can be done. These are my blueberries. These 2 shrubs here were kind of one of the only good things that were here before we put anything in the ground. So they were here. These are old. They're probably like 35 years old. I don't really know how old, but so yeah, everything else here was all grass. Grass. I really like grass. But anyway, blueberries are great. They're easy. Bumblebees love them. I think they actually, the way the flowers are shaped, they require, I could be forgetting this or misquoting it, but I think they need bumblebees, because bumblebees have a certain type of, like, the way they buzz, their bodies like vibrate. That's what, like, the flowers need to be for pollination. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's kind of cool. Doesn't look like anything now, but Maximilian sunflowers live there. We'll see those later. This is aronia, an aronia berry. You can back up and see. There's the bottom, and up to there. Aronia is great. It is unproblematic. It's very prolific, makes so many berries. Very beautiful flowers. Beautiful fall color. It makes the leaves turn red. The berries are great because they're super easy to harvest. You can just like kind of grab like clumps of them, and there's no thorns. The only bad thing about them is they're not so good fresh eating. They're very astringent. But one thing I did this past year was I like cooked them down, made like a kind of a juice, like cooked juice, and I mixed some other things that I picked, and I made fruit leather, and it was actually really good. So that's a good use for aronia, because makes a ton of berries. Next to it It's a goji berry, which grow very easily here too. Some people don't realize, like, oh, you can grow gojis in Pacific Northwest. Yes, you can. And in fact, I think in the UK, it's kind of like a roadside weed. Like, they're kind of a shrubby weed shrub over there. And it makes berries, makes plenty of berries. It's one of my later berrying things. So if you have like kind of all the like traditional berries, you know, raspberry, strawberry, blueberry, but then you add things like aronia and goji and honeyberry, then you can have berries from like, you know, not just like the summer months, but you can have them from like May through October, which is what I like, because I like berries of all kinds. The peach is probably another one, kind of not as bad as the persimmon. It's made fruit better than the persimmon, but I don't know if I'd do peach again. At least maybe not this kind. It's a little iffy with fruiting, but you know, it's here now. I'm probably not going to bother digging it out. Here's my greenhouse. It's not much to look at. It was definitely a bit of a headache to get it where it is and in the state it is, which is, you know, no panels falling out actively. But I have a lot of little things in there, which you can kind of take a look for a second. The door doesn't latch, so I have to use buckets to hold the door shut. But yeah, lots of little seedlings in here. Oh, the wind is picking up. There's some more over there. And some more like perennials I dug up. I put them in here to kind of see if they'll activate sooner, kind of get going, because I have some plant sales this year and I want them to, you know, look more than a, you know, bucket of empty, it's just a bucket of dirt. You can't really sell a bucket of dirt to someone and call it a plant. So don't mind all the debris. I have a 3.5-year-old and he likes to leave things around. Yeah, I'll blame it on him, right? It's not me. Raspberries. It's kind of your standard red raspberry. Awesome for pollinators. Awesome berries. Easy to propagate. Comes up suckers left and right. You just dig them up wherever they come up. Oh, here's the plant I haven't talked about. This is comfrey. This is probably my biggest comfrey here. I mean, not very big yet, but in the past it's gotten like probably, I don't know, 4.5 feet tall. It's like peak flowering. It's so beautiful. This is another one of my favorite plants. Beautiful purple flowers. Bugs love it. It's an awesome like mulch plant because it just makes so much biomass. And the roots, you know, it's known for like, oh, it's like the best, what is it, dynamic accumulator. And you know, it kind of is. It's not like the best. It's fine. It's great. But one thing you do is when it goes up, makes flowers, after that it starts looking a little not great. It gets powdery mildew. So you can just chop it down. Just chop it down, chop it up, put it on the ground for mulch, and then it grows back. It just does it again, and you can get 2 or maybe 3 flushes of that. So it's very just giving. It's a very giving plant, and it's great. You can use the leaves to dry and make a salve. Like it's a really strong, like healing salve. I think it's the term is a cell proliferant. So there's something in the leaves that helps cells like regenerate and grow. So if you have a wound that needs healing, then comfrey can help with that. Behind that, up against the fence, we have some hops. I like hops, and man, it's already going for it. You're going for it. Look at that, that's a lot. This will cover the fence. They'll go all the way up the fence, and they go over there, and all the way over this thing, and like in there. They went crazy last year. There's like a I don't know, a garland of hops, and so you know, hops are known obviously for brewing. Even that bitter hops taste. I'm not really a beer person, but I do use the flowers, the strobials, I dry them for tea or tincture, and they're very calming, like a sedative, like a powerful sedative. Also, I haven't tried this yet, and maybe now is the time. Hops is also a perennial vegetable, and you can eat the young shoots. There's lots of plants you can eat the young shoots. or like that is like the best part to eat, and I need to try it with some hops. Probably I should, because there's a lot and I love it, but I don't need like, you know, 8 billion hops. Horsetail too. Uh-oh. That's never going away. See over there's where the fruit trees are. And then this way, you can see all my kid junk and other things. I have 2 hazelnuts, filberts. These are not like the wild kind. These are cultivars. I think this one is a Theta or Jefferson. This is Jefferson, I think this one. This one makes the bigger nuts. And then the one over here is a Theta. And these, like other plants, you need 2 for pollination. You have similar flowering times. So these are all done. They're done with their pollen. The flowers have been, you know, pollinated. I can't even see them now. Flowers are super tiny. Teeny tiny little red kind of tendrils. But it hasn't leafed out yet. But these are amazing. I didn't get these when I first started planting. These were a few years later. But they're already like so just like big and tall, and they cast very dense shade. So as you can probably tell, whoa, sorry, look at the sun. This part of my house, this is the south facing wall of my house. East that way, west over there. So in the summer it gets hot, the sun reflects off the house and gets like boiling hot. These big hazelnuts really help mitigate that. They provided some pretty good shade, you know, big shady spots on the concrete, so we can have a place to hang out in the shade. So that's another like great use for these, you know, not just the nuts, which I do get nuts. Squirrels and the jays try to get them, but if you notice them, I can see these trees right from my kitchen window. So if I notice them, like the branches are like trembling suspiciously in the fall or late summer, I'll know that someone's trying to get my nuts, and I come out and pick as many as I can, you know, a little bit early, and let them mature in the house, and then I roast them and you can eat them. They're not like, you know, as big and firm as they would be if they had a chance to be on the tree for longer, but they were good last year and they got gobbled up, so works for me. Here's another silverberry. This one's bigger. This one's a lot happier, and so it's variegated, you know, but I'm noticing the new branches are not variegated. So I think it's reverting back to its kind of solid color leaf state. You know, that's okay. I'm not going to bother trying to keep it a certain color. Just can't be bothered. Over there is another cardoon. It's my nice big one. And next to that there's another lovage. That's my main big one. Those two next to each other, they get a little crazy. The lovage especially gets so tall. They get like 15 feet tall. There's another cardoon. I have these stakes next to them because the flowers are incredibly beautiful, but they get a little heavy and floppy, so I kind of tie them up so they're not falling down. I'm gonna cut the video off there, so I'm gonna do a separate video for my perennial vegetable bed, which is over there. So thanks for watching. Please leave any questions in the comments.